Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Erev Shabbos, Parshas Vayakheil-Pikudei, Shabbos Mevarchim of the incredible month of Nisan, Shabbos HaChodesh, where we read the special Mafter and the Torah of Parshas HaChodesh. And once again, we're concluding the book of Shmos, and once again, we're talking about the building of the Mishkan. In the first two parshos that deal with the Mishkan, in Truman Tetzava, we were dealing with the command from God to Moshe, the instructions. Now it's Moshe's instructions to the Jewish people in the actual building of the Mishkan. And once again, we're introduced, as we were in previous parashas, we're introduced to the artisan, to the person that was the chief architect. We're introduced to Betzalel. And we're introduced to him in exactly the same way. Vayomer Moshe b'nei Yisrael, Moshe says to the Jewish people, Ru'u kara Hashem b'shem, God called out by name Betzalel ben Uri ben Chur lemata Yehuda. And when we met him the first time, we were told that God called out b'name, b'shem. And what does it mean? Rei karasi b'shem, see that I called out by his name. And the same over here, it says Re'u, see. What was the commandment to see? What were they looking at? And the rabbis explained to us that they were considering deeply. To see something means not just to look at something, but Re'u, to see it, to hear its message, to recognize what it really is. And what are we supposed to be looking at? Betzalel? Betzalel, a guy. Good skills. What's Re'u? Re'eh. What are we looking at? B'shem Betzalel? At the name of Betzalel? So what is a name? So we understand that we actually have four of them. We have a name that God gave us. We have a name that our parents gave us. We have a name that our friends give us. And then we have a name that we acquire for ourselves. But what is a name? It's not just a handle. It's not just a description, a thing we use to call something else. But a name is the potential. God gives us a name that means that God puts certain potentials in us that are there encoded into our neshamas. Our parents, they also put potentials into us. Our friends also teach us things. They also give us potentials. And then we take all those potentials and we do something with them. And that's the name we acquire for ourselves. Everything else is things that we could be, possibilities, talents, potentials. But the name that we give ourselves, which is Shem Tov Ola Al Gabeim, that rises above all the other names that we're given. That's the only thing that we actually own in this world. Who are we? We are the name that we have acquired for ourselves. We are not the name that God gave us, and we are not the name that our friends gave us, and not the name that our parents gave us, because all of that is just potential. What we do with that name, that's who we are. Why did God give us such a name? Because he saw potential in us to be able to accomplish so much. But the truth is, our potentials, our talents, our natural abilities, and the things that we learned from the world around us amount to zero until we put a 1 in front of it, until we put a number in front of it. The moment that we put a value in front of it, the moment we do something with it, the moment that we begin to shape it and begin to raise it and to make something out of it, that's the moment that it becomes a value. You can have 1,000,000 zeros, But if there isn't a 1 in front of the 0, then it's just 0. But the minute that we put something in front of it, that's the minute that it becomes ours, and that's the minute that it becomes something valuable. By Ne'ilah, we don't say the regular vidui. We say just 3 paragraphs, and we focus on the words Lema'an nechdal me'oshek yodenu. That this is the last blast, the last moment to ask God to protect us, to raise us, to lift us. And what do we ask for? Lema'an nechdal me'oshek yodenu, that we shouldn't be thieves. Most people are not thieves. Most people don't need extra special protection from being a thief. We need to watch our eyes. We need to watch our mouth. We need to watch our minds. If we're asking for divine help, we need love. We need patience. Why are we asking Leman Nechtal Me'oshek Yadenu? Because the truth is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has given us so much potential. And our parents have given us so many capabilities. And we've picked up so much talents from our friends and our world around us. And we need to worry that we don't squander it. And we don't use it for something else. And we don't become who we are meant to become. And in the last moments of Yom Kippur, we turn to God and we say, don't let us steal all of that which you've put inside of us, all of those gifts you've given us. We don't want to steal them and use them for something useless, but we want to utilize them for something amazing. That's what God and Moshe tell us to consider. Re'u kara Hashem b'shem. Re'eh, says God, karasi b'shem. Think about it. Consider it. Look at it. Understand it. Understand all the potential that I put into this fellow Betzalel. And look at who he became. Look at the kind of name that he made for himself. That's our inspiration of looking at Betzalel. If Betzalel could take his potential and build a Mishkan, I too can take my potentials and I can build a beautiful world. Everybody should have an amazing, beautiful, awesome, stunning Shabbos. The beginning of the month of Geula. And we should celebrate soon the Geula of the Jewish people here in the rebuilt Eretz Yisrael and the rebuilt Yerushalayim. B'mheira v'yameinu, amen.